So the second component of fundraising, and probably more common than the pledges, is the donations. And sometimes a donation can be made that is actually connected with a pledge, but it doesn't need to be. So basically, again, we're going to look into the fundraising part of the menu, and we're just going to go right down to receive a donation here. And the donation number, you will leave that alone. The system will number that automatically, but it will allow you to call up an existing donation and make changes to it. So what you would do is you would pick the date that you received a donation, and the donor, or also known as a prospect, will be one of your prospects in here. If you're getting donations from anonymous donors, you should in fact have a single prospect set up as anonymous so that you can pick that code. But in this case, let's say it's a DEF company who's given us a donation. And again, we attach that to a campaign code here. So I'm going to put that into the Christmas campaign. And we type the amount of the donation that we have been given. So let's say we receive $100. Now, if this donation pays down a pledge, we would tick this. In this case, we don't have any pledges from the DEF company, so of course that wouldn't make sense. So this particular donation is strictly a straight donation that we received. And then lastly, you would choose the type of donation that it is. So you have one of four types. It can be a cash gift, which is $100. It can be a cash gift with advantage, so that might be $100, but they get the opportunity to play golf or something like that. They may donate a non-cash gift, and they may donate a non-cash gift with advantage. So depending on what you choose down here, if it's a cash gift, that's the end of it, and we just click Save. If it was one of these other types, for example, cash gift with advantage, you would type in what the advantage return to the donor was, and you can check on the CCRA's website for a more valid definition as prescribed by the Canadian government. Non-cash gift will give you a place to record the description of the non-cash donation, and if it's a non-cash gift with advantage, you still get that description, but then you also detail what the advantage is that's returned to the donor. I'm just going to stick with a straight cash gift here, and I'm going to click on my Save button at the top. The reason I have this, just before I do, the reason I have this drop-down arrow is because I'm logged in as the administrator. I can change at this point the design of the receipt, but we're just going to print the default one that's in here. So I'm going to save this. It's going to ask me if I want to print a receipt for the donation, and I'm going to say yes. And rather than sending it right out to the printer, I'm going to go to Preview so you can see what we've done here. So in our design, we designed our receipts to print out on a full-size piece of paper. So the top part actually comes to be a letter, and then the bottom part is detachable for the client. And depending on whether or not you pick the ones with advantage or a non-cash gift, they will also print those details on the receipt the way it's designed. You can modify the design of the receipt, so this is merely a template suggestion here. So that is the way we would do one, and if I were to do a different one here, I can click Clear. And let's pick the same date here, and we are going to pick ABC Company Limited, and we're going to put that into our Christmas campaign. And let's say we get $105 from them, and this one is going to be marked as paying down a pledge. It recognizes there's an open pledge, so it offers that by default. And here is the open pledges for ABC Company Limited, and I want to pay $105 down off of that pledge, and this is going to be a cash gift. And I just save this here. And once again, I could preview it here. Once again, a very standard receipt. To follow that through, if I go to the prospect screen and maintain prospect, if I'm on ABC Company Limited, I now have a history of the donations, and I can reprint, and they only have one, but if they have multiple donations, they would show in here, and I could highlight any one and reprint a receipt from this point. Okay. I can also go to their pledge history, and you may notice the original balance was $10,000, but it's been paid down to $9,895 because of that single donation that we received so far. And the same is true if I go to the DEF company who don't have a pledge, but they have some donation history showing up here. Okay. Now, one thing that you can do back to the receive a donation, I can call up something. So say I call up this donation here, this one that we received from DEF Company Limited. It shows me the receipts printed, but maybe I made a mistake. Maybe it was for $200. I can actually change that amount of the donation here and reprint the receipt here. And you will notice now that the receipt comes up as a $200 receipt. Now the fact that I changed that shows up in a couple places. Here it shows up, I'm logged in as administrator. I can come down and I can review my audit entries, and here's the one that I had seen. So it shows that who did it and that they changed the amount from $100 to $200, and I can sign off that as an audit record that I'm signing off of here. Okay, and the last part with donations is under our reports section. We can go in and we can see a donation report. So I'm just going to leave everything blank except for the dates I want to do for the month of July, and we should have the 2 donations that we received, and we'll just preview it here on the screen. So it shows here the 2 donations that we received. I don't know, let me see if we can make this a little bit bigger for you to see. And so the 2 donations, the companies involved, the campaigns, the cash donations, non-cash, and any advantages registered, the receipt number that was issued, whether or not it was printed, and edited. So that is the receipt donation report, rather, that will detail those that can tie into your accounting report. And that concludes the lesson on donations.